When I say early knockout performances, I didn't mean that Broner was just lucky. He earned it through legitimate skill and talent. He performed impressively in his early career with great KO performances against Martin Rodriguez, Eloy Perez, and Antonio DeMarco. These weren't just technical knockouts. These were clean, highlight reel KOs, where his opponents were completely unconscious from powerful shots to the head. But this highly impressive start to his career is the exact reason why his fall from grace has been so disappointing to boxing fans. It was during these early fights that Broner showed his amazing hand speed, accuracy, and defensive skills that had everyone comparing him to Floyd Mayweather. Unlike many of his later bouts that went to decision, these early fights showcased Broner's finishing ability. After these impressive performances, even boxing experts like HBO's Max Kellerman believed Broner could potentially become the face of boxing after Mayweather's retirement. Adrien Broner not only has a strong punch, but also a strong resume as a multi-division champion. During his career peak, Broner won legitimate world titles in 4 different weight divisions: super featherweight, lightweight, light welterweight, and welterweight. The achievement continued as he joined an elite club of fighters like Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, and Oscar de la Hoya, who had accomplished similar feats. Broner later explained that he wanted to be known as one of the greatest boxers of all time, claiming that his goal was to surpass Mayweather's accomplishments. The incident resulted in widespread recognition of his talent, even as fans and boxing experts criticized his out-of-ring behavior. Oh yeah, since this achievement is very impressive, let's see the highlights of Broner's championship-winning performances. The Floyd Mayweather comparisons were real. Adrien Broner wasn't just casually compared to Floyd. It was a legitimate comparison made by serious boxing analysts. The similarity occurred because Broner used the shoulder roll defense just like Floyd. He had the hand speed, accuracy, and ring IQ reminiscent of Pretty Boy Floyd. Broner also mimicked Mayweather's flamboyant style, talking trash and flashing money everywhere he went. Talking about the impact, Broner certainly grabbed attention with his antics. Personally, he took the money Mayweather blueprint, but forgot the most important part, the legendary work ethic. However, there is something interesting about this comparison. One of it was Floyd Mayweather himself, who initially supported Broner, but later criticized him, saying, "The difference between me and Adrien is that he's worried about making money in another field. I'm worried about making money right here, in boxing." Adrien Broner got humiliated by Marcos Maidana. Adrien Broner was a monster due to his undefeated record with numerous knockouts. But on December 14, 2013, it was the first time Broner experienced true humiliation in the ring against Marcos Maidana. Coming into this fight, he was a huge 5-1 favorite after winning the welterweight belt from Paulie Malignaggi. During the second round, Maidana landed a crushing left hook, dropping Broner for the first time in his career. This wasn't just a technical knockdown. Broner's legs completely buckled, and he went down hard. This shocking moment silenced the pro-Broner crowd. Maidana kept putting pressure on Broner, who could only clinch in response. In the 8th round, Maidana dropped Broner again with another devastating left hook. After Broner took a clear dive trying to get a DQ, Maidana mockingly humped him the same way Broner had done to him earlier in the fight. Maidana countered every Broner strength with overwhelming pressure, which led to the lopsided unanimous decision. The incident resulted in one of boxing's most iconic images: Broner being carried out of the ring while angry fans threw trash at him. Oh yeah, since this event is very iconic and chaotic, let's see the Broner vs Maidana highlights. We all know that Adrien Broner was arrested due to the sheer number of problems in his life. In fact, he has been arrested multiple times throughout his career. He had been arrested for various offenses including assault, battery, robbery charges, domestic violence, and sexual misconduct. Things get worse since he shows little remorse after these incidents, often returning to social media to brag shortly after being released. In April 2017, Broner was arrested in Cincinnati after police discovered evidence connecting him to a robbery outside a bowling alley. According to reports, a man claimed Broner had robbed him at gunpoint after losing thousands of dollars in betting during their bowling matches earlier that night. Therefore, his boxing license was temporarily suspended multiple times due to his behavior outside the ring. Even in 2020, Broner got into trouble again and was arrested for DUI after police pulled him over and found him under the influence. The incident involved Broner being uncooperative with officers, which added to his legal troubles that have continued to plague his career.
Who said what?
That's what it says in here.
I don't have no money. I get sent money and I spend it. I gotta spend it on bills.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I gotta spend it on bills.
Well, as I said,
I don't
you're
know.
not responding. I think you're not helping yourself right now.
But what I'm saying is this. How do I do all of this? I don't know how to do
Your
this.
lawyer will help you do it.
Broner was arrested in Cincinnati after police discovered evidence connecting him to a robbery outside a bowling alley. According to reports, a man claimed Broner had robbed him at gunpoint after losing thousands of dollars in betting during their bowling matches earlier that night. Adrien Broner's venture into the music industry was a significant distraction from his boxing career during his prime years. Broner started to release rap songs and music videos under the name About Billions, which is also his boxing nickname. When he should have been focused on training and improving his skills, he would often promote his music and spend time in recording studios rather than the boxing gym. Unlike Mayweather, who had the work ethic, drive, and motivation behind all the glitz and glamour, Broner solely relied on his talent alone. One of the things that caused him to lose focus was his connection with the entertainment world. He wanted to be more than just a boxer. He wanted to be an entertainer and celebrity. Though I got to say, Broner is not very skilled as a rapper compared to his boxing abilities, and this split focus contributed significantly to his decline in the ring, as boxing experts noted. Behind all the flexing that Mayweather does, he has the work ethic, drive, and motivation. He was an absolute workaholic during his Money Mayweather days. Broner gets schooled by smaller fighter. Okay, so there's a guy named Mikey Garcia. He is a smaller fighter who moved up in weight to face Broner. This guy also had incredible technical skills, but wasn't known as a power puncher at the higher weight. In 2017, Broner fought Garcia in a high-profile PPV event. Broner was expected to be too big and strong for Garcia, but since this Garcia guy is a real boxing master, of course he wasn't intimidated. So in this fight, Garcia completely outboxed Broner, landing clean shots at will, while Broner could barely land anything meaningful. The boxing clinic left boxing experts stunned. Even Broner's own fans had to admit he was thoroughly outclassed, but not because of Garcia's size advantage. It's because Garcia landed a masterclass of technical boxing. I guess he'd have to change his nickname from The Problem to Has a Problem with Skilled Boxers. Floyd Mayweather can be friends with a protege, but if the protege is Adrien Broner, then it's a different story. In 2018, Broner was at a press conference for his upcoming fight with Jesse Vargas when, all of a sudden, he looked across the room and saw Leonard Eller, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, who was his own promoter. So Broner got up, went on an unhinged rant against Eller and Mayweather Promotions, claiming they weren't representing his best interests. But fortunately, the press conference wasn't completely derailed because Broner eventually calmed down. So in the end, the fight still happened, ending in a draw. But this meltdown reminded many of Tony Montana's restaurant scene in Scarface, where he declares himself the bad guy. I guess he should change his nickname from The Problem to Has Problems. Adrien Broner got dominated by 40-year-old Pacquiao. Adrien Broner not only has a strong trash talk, but also a strong delusion, and this was proven during his fight against Manny Pacquiao in 2019. During this fight, despite being 11 years younger, Broner looked completely outclassed by the 40-year-old Filipino legend. The fight was completely one-sided, with Broner barely throwing any punches while Pacquiao landed at will. Broner's output was pathetic, averaging just 8 punches landed per round. Pacquiao nearly stopped him in the 7th round with a flurry that had Broner desperately holding on. In the 9th round, Pacquiao landed a left hand that rocked Broner badly, sending him stumbling into the ropes. The referee could have called it a knockdown since only the ropes kept Broner upright. Broner later claimed in the post-fight interview that he actually won the fight despite being completely dominated. This delusional statement shocked everyone, including the interviewer Jim Gray. The incident resulted in Broner becoming an internet meme and boxing fans completely losing respect for him. Oh yeah, since this is one of the most delusional moments in boxing history, let's see the Pacquiao vs. Broner post-fight interview. When I say potential comeback, I'm not talking about something that has already happened, but something that could still be possible. Despite all the setbacks, Broner fought Giovanni Santiago back in 2021 and had a solid performance in a close fight. He'd go on to win via unanimous decision, showing flashes of the promised talent he displayed when he was younger. Though he's had a tragic fall from grace, Broner's story isn't technically over. At just 33 years old, as of 2023, he still has time to potentially turn things around if he could rededicate himself to the sport. But this highly unlikely comeback would require him to let go of his inflated ego that couldn't blame himself for his shortcomings, and instead blamed everybody else around him. One concern is that Broner has shown a tendency to quit, something boxing fans view as an ABD, abandoned mentality. While he's never officially abandoned a match, his lack of effort in some fights makes fans question his heart. Adrien Broner is boxing's stark example of the phrase, "When talent doesn't work hard, hard work beats talent." When Broner was just starting his career, he was touted as boxing's next big thing. This meteoric rise happened in the early 2010s when he was destroying opponents and collecting championship belts. Luckily for Broner, his natural talent carried him to the top of the sport. However, he didn't maintain the discipline needed to stay there. Not just that. Growing up in the rough streets of Cincinnati, Adrien Broner faced constant challenges due to extreme poverty and lack of opportunities. Kids in his neighborhood would either end up in gangs or in jail. But since he found boxing, he had a way out that others didn't. But everything changed when fame and fortune arrived. This corrupted Broner so much that he lost focus on boxing and became obsessed with his about billions persona. Well, I guess this is what people meant with, talent means nothing without hard work. If you think this video is useful, don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button. Goodbye and see you in the next episode.